So we got a big debate stirring online on Big Ten coaching ranks. And the reason this is stirring online is that the Three Man Weave guys just dropped a podcast episode earlier this week where they went through every single power conference and ranked every coach. All three of the legends, Jim Root, Matt Cox, Kai McKeon, went through and gave their individual ratings, and then they basically aggregated them and divided it up and gave the average and listed out the rankings, one through whatever the end of the conference is for each of the power conferences. So this is not just Big Ten. They did this for all of them. I listened to the episode. It's a great episode. I think everyone should go listen to it. And I think we're on record being big fans of the Three Man Weave guys. So, anyways, Dylan Burkhart, another guy I'm a big fan of, Hoops, was also listening to this episode and decided to just put a visual together for how the Big Ten rankings ended up from the Three Man Weave guys. And he did put it in list form. And then Dylan pretty clearly thought a few elements of this were surprising. And he decided to tweet it out and tag the Weave guys. And I know Dylan's a big fan of the Three Man Weave guys as well. So kind of all in good fun intention from everyone here of like, damn, you guys are high on a certain coach here. The internet doesn't always operate that way. And I think there are a lot of fans who ended up seeing this list and getting real pissy about where certain coaches were ranked. So this is all readily available on Twitter. And for that reason, I feel comfortable just like speaking to what the rankings are. So this is how the Weave ranked the Big Ten coaches in order in their consensus. Matt Painter, unanimous best coach in the Big Ten. Ben McCollum, tied with Tom Izzo. Averaged out, they both averaged 3.3. But the way they listed this, they put Ben McCollum second on the list, Tom Izzo third on the list. And individually, both Jim and Matt had Ben McCollum ahead of Tom Izzo on their ratings. Tom Izzo third, Brad Underwood fourth, Dusty May fifth, Mick Cronin sixth, Greg Gard seven, Dana Altman eight, Darren DeVries nine. Onward down the list from there. You can go find it on Twitter. So hopefully I'm just laying this out as properly as I can before we give our takes on this. But look, the surprise here was Ben McCollum being that high. I think everyone agrees that the Big Ten is loaded with coaching acumen right now. But let's just call it what it is. Outside of Painter at one, which everyone's mostly fine with, Izzo's a legend. He would be the unanimous number two on paper, I think, for most people. And then you get into Brad Underwood, Dusty May, Mick Cronin territory. Seeing Ben McCollum ahead of any of those guys at this point just feels like a little bit of a surprise. You've got to be very, very high on him, which the Three Man Weave guys are. From their cart, just quickly, this turned into like a night-long debate of engagement on Twitter because not only did the original list come out here, but we got Jim kind of interacting with fans publicly. And again, shout out to Jim. He was on Ball Top with us last year. Love everything Jim Root does. But Jim had a tweet that I know got your attention here, and I'm just going to read it word for word so that we have this here. Jim, in defense of his take here, said, quote, if they had the same roster next season, yes, I think Ben McCollum is narrowly better than Tom Izzo. I understand that's unpopular. End tweet. Can I please get your thoughts on all of this?
I want just a little bit of clarification before I speak fully on this. Is he saying that if they had the same rosters as upcoming season or the past season?
Same roster next season. Give both Ben McCollum and Tom Izzo the exact same players. Jim would take Ben McCollum. And
Okay.
I will say from listening to the episode, I do feel like this was lost a little bit in the context of it.
Mhm.
I listened to the episode.
Yeah.
They definitely framed this conversation in the lens of who do I want to be my coach going forward? And you can understand why a guy who's kind of like on the come up might rise in the ranks a little bit, and a coach like Tom Izzo, who you don't know when he's going to leave the sport, might get dinged a little bit. So when this was put in list form and just shared with Twitter, I feel like that was totally lost. if you listen to the episode, they at least defend that a little bit by like, I think McCollum's going to be huge on the rise, yada yada.
Yeah, which look, you already stated one. I rock with the weed guys. They know this. We know like that. Those are my guys, and I appreciate the list and everything like that. I'm a Ben McCollum guy. I consider myself to be a Ben McCollum guy. It's just something to me that's just inherently wrong with having a coach at two who hasn't even coached in the Big Ten yet. And this is a Big Ten coach's ranking, and he has yet to even coach a game in the Big Ten. I feel, where do they have DeVries at?
I think down at like 9.
I don't know. Like I feel like and I understand there is some projecting going on with this, but it just for me it loses the plot when you have Ben McCollum ahead of Tom Izzo and these guys who have won so many games in the Big Ten these past couple years, and the guy who just went 17-3 with Sizemon Zapala and Frankie Fiddler on the roster. Like when you talk about maximizing rosters and like exactly like what Michigan State did last year, dog, they went 30-7 and 17-3 in the conference with Purdue and Illinois and teams that have been somewhat running this conference and a really good Michigan team last year. Wisconsin was really good. Like there was some good Big Ten teams last year, and we won the conference by 3 games. So it's just like I don't know. Like I understand being Ben McCollum guys. Uh he was like one of the best Division II coaches of like all time. I mean, I'm not a Division II coach connoisseur, but like he won like 3 national championships in like the past like 5 years when he was at Northwest Missouri State. In his first year at Drake, he was very successful. I think they win 1 or 2 tournament games.
They won one tournament game.
They won 1 tournament game. That was a hell of a year. And
31
like
and
I said,
4, 17 and 3 in the Missouri Valley. Now, analytically, I will say Darren DeVries' last year at Drake, they were 53rd nationally. Ben McCollum's 1 year at Drake, they were 52nd nationally. So, look, Ben McCollum did it with his own guys. Darren
mm,
DeVries kind of did it with Tucker and his own guys. But like the outputs of the last 2 seasons at Drake were nearly identical. And you've got Darren DeVries 9 spots lower than Ben McCollum. I don't fully understand that one.
and I don't want to make this a Michigan State thing. I feel like this should be like a Big Ten. We should rally together behind this. Like I need Illinois fans to come join me. I need Michigan. I need y'all to come join me.
Oh, Cart, are we
Yeah.
saving the Big Ten right now?
Well, I don't know what t-shirts being made, but we need to say the Big Ten coaches list. We need to
Save.
say because not only is he ahead of Izzo, he's ahead of Underwood. He's ahead of Dusty May. Like it's I mean, shit. I'll bring the UCLA fans in on this. Everyone, come together. We need to band together to make this okay because it's crazy to me. And like I said, love weave guys. I like Ben McCollum. It's just. I just don't think you could put him at two.
Yeah, save the big lists. That's what I'm gonna be on.
Save the
Save the
big
big
list.
list. This is why no one should be allowed to list except for Andy Katz, my goat. I will say this list makes a lot more sense if Andy Katz made it. I would follow that a little bit closer, I think, than this one because the Weave guys are great. They're really smart. I love everything they do. They're entertaining. I don't know. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that they put Ben McCollum this high. Can I do my best to try and explain it and maybe like put my own rationalization around how you could possibly feel this way?
Yeah, can I say my one last point?
Sure.
So I was willing to move on from Ben McCollum being two. I was willing to move on. I was upset, but I was willing to move on. Like I get it. Like people disagree with lists all the time. That's honestly what this industry is at times. You make a list and not everyone is going to agree and or love it. That's kind of the way it is. The defending of it though, with the like, oh, what would Ben McCollum do with Izzo's roster? That's insane to me because say what you want about Izzo and like everything else that kind of comes with it, right? Is it fair to say that when it comes to maximizing, like he might set himself back with rosters, but he can maximize what he has. Like
Yeah.
he can get really good stuff out of rosters that you look at and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. It's a good point. We are now. I liked your stance on like this isn't just an Izzo argument. I understand Jim had the second
Yeah.
tweet, but like I want to make clear, I'm as mad about this as you are, I think.
Okay,
I
now
think
your turn.
Illinois fans should be as mad
You
about this
go. You
too.
go. You go.
Like it's not just Izzo's better. It's like a lot of these coaches are better. What are we doing? And Ben McCollum might be great. I'm going to try to rationalize that through the way my brain thinks in just a moment because I can see one angle that would make sense to put McCollum this high for, and I'll try to make that argument first. But yeah, to your point, Izzo, I guess as a follow-up question, I think the Weave is still doing their team specific rankings right now, but are they going to put Iowa ahead of Michigan State for this year? Because on paper, you tell me if you feel differently. A team with Bennett Sturts and Alvaro Fulgaris is not that far behind on paper a team led by Cohen Carr and Jeremy Fears. So, like, you're talking about if the rosters are the same, you're going to put Iowa ahead of Michigan State because Iowa's got the preseason All American. I better see Iowa picked second in the Big Ten if you're backing up that Ben McCollum's that good. I don't think we're going to see that, would be my guess, because I think deep down, we know that Michigan State's going to finish top six in this league with Jackson Kohler, and we just don't know that Ben McCollum's going to do that. So, also, just the framing of like if the rosters were the same, that makes no sense to me. Like, do you know who's responsible for building college basketball rosters? The coach,
Coaches.
right? So like we can't just be like, well, if they both did that, like no, they're both they have opportunities to put whatever players they can, and Ben McCollum's done a great job of that. Turning Bennett Sturts into what he's become is like an all-time monumental performance from a coach and a player, but I don't know. I don't follow the logic train of like if the rosters were the same. That's not how this works. They build their rosters their own way. So let's evaluate what we've seen. And from what we've seen, we just saw a Tom Izzo team that, again, with Shimon Zapala starting, with Frankie Fiddler as the big splashy portal ad, with a four-star recruit in Jace Richardson, who was nowhere close to being a one and done on paper, just pantsed Matt Painter in the middle of Matt Painter's prime and won the league by 3 games. Like if you unanimously have Matt Painter one, how can you look at what Izzo did last year and not feel like he should be higher? But then I would spin it and again say it's about the other coaches too. Dusty May's made a Final Four. Mick Cronin's made a Final Four. Like how many coaches in this league have actually accomplished things that Ben McCollum is so far away from? He's won one tournament game, man, and maybe it will get there, but I think there are such more accomplished coaches, and to my point at the top of this, we're in a good era of Big Ten coaching acumen right now. It would make sense to put like the upstart kind of surprise splashy guy as high as two, maybe like 5, 6 years ago. There are a lot of really legendary coaches either in their primes or entering their primes in this league right now. I think Dylan Hoops made a really good point. There's only like 2 or 3 teams in this league that would even want a different coach than their coach right now. That means everybody feels good about their situations.
Mhm.
And there's just a lot of guys with banners to show for it that I don't understand how you could put Ben McCollum ahead of right now. So I don't know. Let me do my rationalization. Here's me if I had to make the argument that the Weave is making here,
If
this
you
is how I
if
would do it.
if this became a four-man weave,
Yeah,
this would
Carter, something I have always wanted to do since we started in this industry. I want to be the 3-man weave for a moment. Let me try. Here we go. Um, okay, let's pretend this is football for a second. If we made this list a year ago for Big Ten football, where would Kurt Signetti have been?
as far as Big Ten coaches.
Probably like 10th, right?
Yeah, like you talking about coming in like before the Indiana.
Before
Yes,
he coached a game at Indiana.
yeah.
Kurt Signetti would have been, well, he's promising, exciting. We got our eye on him. Got to put him like
Mhm.
10. There's, James Franklin. Has Signetti ever done what James Franklin's done? Like, those types.
Yeah,
Where would Kurt Signetti be right now? After 1 year at Indiana, where would he be on the list of best Big Ten football coaches?
behind Lanning or like no order here, but like behind Lanning, behind Day.
We sure he'd even be behind Lanning?
I think so.
Taking Indiana to the college football playoff in year one, to me, is like, I don't know that I'd put anybody other than Day over Signetti. Now, Lanning's great. I don't hate that either. But like
Mhm.
pretty much the point is after just one season, pretty clearly Signetti's that good, and now he's third. To me, that's the angle here. Is if you just think that Ben McCollum is that good, that he's going to get into this league, take it by storm, and honestly, his track record kind of speaks to this. Like you said, right? He's probably the best Division two coach of all time.
Mhm.
Went to Drake and immediately won a tournament game. Like he might be the basketball Kurt Signetti. I'm not saying he's as cocky, but he might just win. That might be all he does. And when we come back to this a year from now, we might get to the summer and say, oh shit, Ben McCollum's the third best coach in the league. But even if I'm trying to use that as my argument, and even if I believe in my bones the way the Weave does that McCollum's that good, to me, you got to wait a year to make that argument. It's still crazy to make it now when you've got Izzo coming off the year he just did, and Underwood still winning, and Dusty May putting out great teams. Like, to me, the highest you could possibly put McCollum is like fifth or sixth, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Where would you say is the highest he could go
Are we projecting or like right now?
right now? Like, where could he have slotted on this list and you wouldn't have called it out? Just anywhere below Izzo and you're fine.
No, because I would have said the same thing about like I don't think he should be above. I'll just start like I don't think he should be above. I think if they wanted to take a swing, it's like when you get into like maybe like the Dana Altman range, and they're like, okay, let me throw him in at like sixth, seventh, or something like that. Like somewhere around, I don't know, six, seven. I feel like would be a good range for him.
Okay. Thanks, Cart. Man,
You
just
hate that
ridiculous.
bit so much.
It's just so like we're not 12, you know?
I can be.
You do behave that way sometimes.
No, but like I think you name it like no order, just Paint, Izzo, Dusty, Underwood. I'm probably still taking like Dana Altman at this ahead of him at this time. I'd put him like six, legit, actually six. That'd be the highest.
that's where I'm at too.
With
Painter,
that.
unanimous one. We're good with that, right? I'm good with that.
Yeah, sure.
Unanimous one.
Yeah.
He's had a team ranked number one in the country in three of the last four seasons.
Yep.
Pretty impressive. Honestly, if you add up everyone else in the Big Ten, has anyone even been ranked number one in the last four seasons?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, like I feel like Michigan State fans get a lot of shit for how they defend Tom Izzo and things like that. The main consensus of it is like we accept that like Payne has been like unreal, right?
Yeah.
It's just if you drop it's one or two. It's Payne and Izzo, Izzo and Payne. Like that's what you got right there.
Yeah.
And then you get into the others.
But also, okay, let me end with this. Can I defend the Weave for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Off-season lists are fun, and off-season lists that don't have anything bold in them are boring. Like
Right.
we are
But
advocates
you
of
could have
lists
been
that are a
bold.
little
You
outlier.
could have been bold by putting Ben McCollum like fifth.
Yeah, you could have been bold and like accurate. I love it.
Yeah.
But this isn't the first time, right? They did their player countdown and had Michael Brown below Miles Rice a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. Got to be bold some shots. But this one, I mean, this one reminds me of a couple years ago. Remember when Braden was left off the Big Ten top 25? That wasn't a Weave list, but that was another list. And we were just like, how do you miss that? Like sometimes there are some that are just like, this feels like such an obvious miss. And maybe we'll fast forward 12 months and feel really stupid because Ben McCollum is Kurt Signetti, but my words would be let's let him win first. You know, let's not just
Yeah,
anoint the guy before it happens.
please.
Shout the Weave. We love you, Weave.